singing the national anthem right now. That means the race is about to start. We'll come to you live from the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon in just a few minutes. Good morning. Welcome to our coverage of the 2022 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. I'm Shannon Smith reporting live from World's Fair Park from the start line. You can see a couple people have started. I'm going to get out of the way because we're about to start. This is pretty cool to see, guys. We are about to start this marathon. 2,100 runners who've been preparing as hand cyclists, push rim cyclists, half marathoners, full marathoners, relayers. You can tell they are brimming to get going. I kind of want to run with them. No, I don't. That's a lie. I don't want to run. But they look like they are so ready to go. Here we go. Gosh, you guys, you hear this excitement coming from downtown Knoxville. Look at these runners. You're starting with the fastest runners at the front in Corral A. So these guys expected to finish pretty fast, probably like 3 to 4 hour range, maybe even faster. Are we ready? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Knoxville. You can see the sun sphere off in the distance, and it does look like we already have a few runners who are starting to lead the pack just a little bit. Now, these runners that are in the front of the race were actually starting off in the front of the race, and you think a lot of these runners have been training for months for this big moment. And it does look like they are really kind of getting a good pace set up. It almost looks like we have one group that is kind of leading the pack ahead of the initial group behind them. A really solid pace coming from out here in the pace car. Right now, we really cannot tell if we're seeing leaders of the half marathon or the full marathon. Once we start to get more of a separation from these runners, we'll provide you with names as to who these are. But what we have here in our pace car, just giving you a perspective for where we're at, we have Aaron Donovan, who's going to be doing a Facebook Live. We have Jerry Owens, who's doing this shot, myself, an amazing driver, Chris, and we're just out here in this pace car, which is such a cool thing to do. So far, I have not heard from a lot of fans cheering on these runners just yet. As we turn the first corner of the 2022 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, we're starting to see a few people cheering on these runners. We have a car right behind us. We also have a motorcyclist who is going to be leading these runners. So far, I'm seeing primarily all male at the start of this race. Last year, when we had the half marathon, we actually had a female who won that. And so it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Shannon, we're going to send things back to you over at the start of the race. Tell me what it looks like now.
Is this other car supposed to be in front of us?
Yeah, let's get some set.
Take a moment to say now, if you're watching us live on television, you want to keep watching the race once we go off air, you can watch on WBIR's YouTube channel and on WBIR.com. where we will be streaming. If we can, let's take a look at our course map. We can pull that up. We're starting over here at World's Fair Park. They are next running into the UT campus area, going down Cumberland near Neyland Stadium. They'll kind of run around there. We end up in Sequoia Hills. We go out south Knoxville. Our half marathoners will come back to World's Fair Park, while our full marathoners go out toward Island Home, going to North Knoxville, Park Ridge, 4th and Gill.
Good job, runners! Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Rebecca Sweet out here in the pace car. We're starting to see some separation of these runners. The best part about this race is trying to figure out who is running, what's their number. We're using binoculars. We're trying to get a glimpse of what we're seeing. We're actually passing Neyland Stadium at this moment, where we've had this fantastic banjo band who is just kind of cheering on these runners. It does look like we have a half marathon runner who is leading this race right now. We're going to try and get a number and a name for you. It does look like it's, well, 1004. Not going to matter for those of you who are watching, but we will get his number here in just a second. Here you go, Aaron. I'm going to try and pass this to you. Again, there's 3 of us who are in the back of the pace car right now, and we are out here just having a great time watching these runners, certainly setting up a great pace. We do not have their mile time just yet, but it looks like the mile 1 is going to be coming up here in just a little bit. We have 2 leaders who are kind of dominating the start of this race, and it does appear that both of these runners are actually doing the half marathon. We have Chris, who's driving the pace car, setting up a really good shop. We have Harper Auto Square, who is, again, out here. We probably want to pick it up just a little bit on the pace car. Good job, guys. Alan Carreno. Is that who's number 1, you think? Correct. Okay, so Alan Carreno is number 1 right now. He is leading the half marathon race. We're going to find out who is in number 2. Josh Maurer is number 2. Are both of these guys from Knoxville? We don't know about that, but we do know who these number 1 and number 2 runners are, and they are for the half marathon. One of the best parts about being out here is seeing the community show up.
Is from Las Vegas.
Oh, Alan Carreno is from Las Vegas. I'm sure these cooler temperatures are probably a big shock to the system. Welcome to East Tennessee in the spring, everybody. But boy, both of these runners just seem like they have a great pace. It looks like they are not exhausted. They have their arms moving nicely. They're breathing nicely. But you notice how they're both wearing a layer underneath their top layer. Cassie, probably appropriate for some of these cooler temperatures that we have in place. Not the coldest start to the marathon that we've ever had, but it has certainly been a chilly start to the day. With more on our weather, we're going to send things back to Cassie in the studio. Hey, Cass. Oh, you got it. Help you find number 2, yeah.
He is on the upside down page.
Oh, okay. 1004. Okay, so Alan Carreno is from Las Vegas. You're right.
Coming on to Neyland Drive right now. We still have 2 half marathoners in front. Looks like the first 4 are all half marathoners.
Yep. Chris, you wouldn't by chance have a pen, would you? No.
Oh, wait. Here's a Sharpie.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
All right, Joan says that she's watching from Barberville, Kentucky, and her son is doing the half.
Thanks, Alan Carreno.
Hi, Joan. Thanks for joining us.
Who's number 2, Chris?
Josh Maurer from Knoxville.
Josh Maurer from Knoxville. Okay. Josh Maurer. Okay, perfect. From Knoxville. It looks like Josh might actually start to take the lead.
So one thing I think that people don't realize a lot of times if you've never run this is that you don't realize how hilly Knoxville is. They're just such simple hills and just the tiniest, as you can see now, maybe you can or can't see it, but now everyone's going up a tiny hill. And that happens throughout this whole race, except for we have our one big hill that everybody loves. You're gonna fight for it. I do.
I don't know.
She is our. She'll be 1001.
1001.
Nope, that is Stuart Ellington.
Okay, who's the next one under him?
Gina Rouse, yep.
Gina Rouse. Okay. Sorry, I knew. I was
Good way to
close.
go to know your numbers. I am so impressed.
All right, we see our pacer running back there.
Good job, runners!
You'll also hear us screaming for people throughout.
What a beautiful view.
Thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate it. We'll see you in Fort McGill as well. You hear other people cheering on our lead runners.
Okay, so we now have the Knoxville runner in the lead,
Yes.
Josh Maurer.
Now, what I find interesting is I wonder if he'll follow Josh for a little bit because obviously Josh knows these roads.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, you okay back
Yep,
there?
we're good.
Strange sounds coming
Josh
out from
works for Knoxville Parents, coached a lot of runners running today.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Runners Market is standing there with bags for people to shed their layers. That's one of the big things that we'll see today too, is everyone has bundled up for this race. And they're gonna have to shed layers, so we will be seeing it all throughout the race. You can slow down a tiny bit, Chris. So if you're just joining us, we are in the pace car and you will hear us talking to our driver, Chris, telling him to slow down or speed up. Here comes mile 2. Just so
Hey,
that
can you
we-
get their pace?
I am.
Okay,
just
perfect.
so that we can
11
show
minutes.
you
11 minutes?
Well, for the
what we're doing.
for 2 miles, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to edit too much of the 1 mile.
And so we will yell at him every once in a while to slow down or speed up.
There's some big separation between second and third.
Yeah, we do not even see our lead marathon runner yet. Now it's interesting that they're hugging that side.
Yeah. They're running about a five and a half minute pace.
Got our first water stop. And no one's taking anything.
Good job, Joshua. Good job, Alan.
We're
Such
also
a-
the cheerleading
Such
squad.
a cheerleader.
The voice you hear is Becca Speed from WBIR. They also have live coverage. We're in the van. Jerry is the photographer. Chris is our driver. We'd like to thank him. Thank Harper Auto for loaning us this beautiful van.
Testing, testing. I can hear you.
We have our
Yeah, I
marathon
can't hear Shannon.
race.
Okay. Hey, when Shannon tosses to me, will you tell me that it's me since I won't be able to hear her? Good job, runners. How cool.
We have one of our guided runners. Blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light.
Blair's really bad at the Ruby camera right now, so.
Okay. You're doing good. Chris, you're doing great. Good job, runners. I'm just such a cheerleader. I just get so excited for them.
You'll also see different bikers throughout this race because we have hand cyclists. Which
Okay.
we will
All right, good pace. You can probably go right here, Chris. This is good.
we'll probably catch up to in Sequoia Hills.
This is perfect pace.
Sorry about the backlighting, folks. What a beautiful sunrise. Welcome, everybody. If you are just joining us, you are watching our two lead male half marathoners. One is from Las Vegas, one is from Knoxville. We are on Gila Drive, getting ready to go up the hill to turn onto Kingston Pike. We have UT Gardens.
Hey there, Shannon. Yeah, we're out here in the pace car, and we have been now approaching, I believe, what is mile 3. Two of our half marathon runners have been kind of battling back and forth to lead this race. At one point, we actually had Joshua Maurer, who is from Knoxville, leading this race, I would say for at least the last mile or so. Now it does look like we have Alan Carreno, who is from Las Vegas. He is now actually leading this race, but you notice that both of these runners have been kind of pacing each other, going at a very fast pace. Their time for the first 2 miles was roughly 11 minutes, and so they're definitely keeping up on a good pace. Behind them, you can't even see the third and the fourth place runners because these two have just taken a clear lead. The runners that we have behind them are actually the runners who are going along with their guides, which is just so cool. And at one point, I actually think I heard Joshua kind of give them a quick little cheer on. And that's the best part about this whole race, is really seeing the community come together and cheer on one another. It's these runners that are cheering on one another. It's these runners that are just kind of pushing each other to succeed. But it does look like we have our first and second place runners just kind of going neck and neck. Cassie, it's freezing out here. I know that this is probably ideal weather for these runners once they warm up, but at the starting line, it was downright frigid. The winds are also going to be a little bit of an issue throughout the day. Thankfully, not too bad right now. Mm-hmm.
Got a little cheering session over here.
Okay. Okay, Jerry, they're going to do a bump of us after Cassie, and then they're going to just toss a break. Nice pace, Chris.
So right now they're going up a gradual hill. This is what you'll see throughout the race, except for Knowlton, which is the one big hill. Jerry's getting text messages.
Sorry, Jerry, that's me. To the whole group.
No, but if nothing else, the pace car is entertaining. So we're separating a little bit now.
It's interesting to see them kind of look around a little bit.
I was watching Josh just sort of staring off over at the water.
Yeah.
So I wondered, what's going through their head. They're not talking anymore. They were talking for a little bit. Now what's surprising is normally we have an eye on one of our marathon runners. These are both half marathon runners. Should be coming up to a phase of some sort that may not be ready for it.
Oh, that's me.
Coming up to the end. Ah, there's somebody's.
Nice to see some cheerleaders.
We're gonna be backlit again. Sorry, folks. Oh, someone's dog is excited.
What mile are we at?
We're coming up 4,
Okay,
halfway down the strip.
perfect.
Water's up. Oh, taking water. Or
Now we
Gatorade,
try to
I'm not
take
sure
some
which
water.
one.
Looks like Josh is just kind of taking in everything.
Yeah. So for those of you joining us, Josh is our leader right now, and he is from Knoxville, and he is followed by a runner from Las Vegas, Alan.
You can probably pick it up a little bit, Chris. Pick it up just a little bit.
So one of the things that's fun about the marathon are there are different neighborhoods. So you've seen the water stop, you've seen the bands. A lot of these neighborhoods will decorate.
Hey there, good morning, Cassie. Yeah, so we're out here live in the pace car. We have Aaron Donovan, we have Jerry Owens. We're all just having a blast out here, getting a chance to see these two runners that are leading the half marathon, battling it out right now. The one who is in the lead in the red tank top, his name is Joshua Maurer, and he is from Knoxville. And it does look like, what I'm so impressed with is it just seems like Joshua in this race is kind of just taking everything in. Most of the time, we're approaching mile 4, just passing that right now. Most of the time, when we have these runners that seem to be leading the race, it almost seems like they're just so focused on what's ahead of them that they don't as necessarily get a chance to take it in. And at one point, we were going past the Tennessee River, and he just looked out over it. He's kind of looked at some of the people passing by and stuff as well, the cars, and it just really seems like he's taking it all in. Now, right behind him, this has been a neck-and-neck race. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we go throughout the next few miles. We have Alan Carreno, and he is from Las Vegas. And Alan actually started off this race as the leader. And with time, Joshua, who has been right behind him, it kind of looks like they're kind of battling it out right now. Joshua was just kind of slowly catching up to him. And it seems like both of these runners still do not look like they're exhausted. It looks like they're very comfortable. They look like they have a great pace going. And in fact, at one point, they ran an 11-minute 2-mile pace. Not quite sure what their last mile was. About the same. So again, they are running, again, it looks like Alan Carreno is just about to take the lead of the half marathon here. You can see that Joshua is getting his arms down, stretching them out. Alan at the last water stop actually took a drink of water. Thankful for all those volunteers and fans out here who are cheering on these runners. So great to see. But it's a really fun battle out here watching these two runners just kind of take it on neck and neck and watching their cadence just kind of going together. So these runners are running roughly a 5.5 minute mile, which is so impressive, folks. Just continuing to see their pace, just continuing to watch these runners, just, you know, something that they've prepared for months coming out here. And last time, you have to think, we had a female who actually won the half marathon. This time we have two males that are dominating this race. Joshua Mowers now getting back into the lead. It seems like Allen every now and then tries to just get right up on him and just try and take over that lead. So it is going to be a battle likely up until the end. I'm interested to see, Allen not being from here, how these cooler temperatures and potentially how the, you know, the terrain here is impacting something that maybe he has not had quite the opportunity to train for like Joshua did. You know, coming from Knoxville, he's been running on these hills for a while. He knows this course probably a little bit better. And Allen, who is coming from a much warmer climate, certainly just holding up his own status. In the far off distance, we can see some of the next runners. Again, we are not even close enough to those runners to get a chance to see who is behind these first and second place runners. But it does look like the third and fourth place runners are not too far off in the distance. We're going to be highlighting those, but we cannot tell who is leading the marathon for the men and the women, and we do not know who the half marathon leader is just yet for the women. We're going to try and get more of that information for you, but they are now going on this nice downhill slope as we're continuing to be in mile 4, folks. We've got some cheerleaders here. We're on Kingston Pike, now getting into one of my favorite parts of the race, the Sequoia Hills neighborhood. And this is one of the more challenging parts of the race, folks, because this is where we get up and down hills. If you've never been in this neighborhood, this is where you get the down slope, you get the up slope. Usually there's a really good fan base in here that cheer on these runners. But we're now entering into a very challenging part of this race, and that big hill that everyone likes to cheer about and watch, that's going to be here in just a little bit. Shannon?
Neighborhood, a favorite to a lot of runners and bikers. Training purposes, because it is up and down. Those pink lines you see on the road are part of the Dogwood Trails. That is a big festival here in Knoxville, and there are different neighborhoods that they paint these pink lines on so that folks can come see all the different dogwoods around Knoxville. So now we have the sun in the runners' faces.
Yeah.
Versus in ours. So this will be a little interesting too.
Okay. Can you slow down just a little bit, Chris, without crowding them? There we go. Good pace. Good job. 5:18 miles. Nice. Sorry.
You can start to see some of the neighborhood flair over here in the middle. Get their coffee, bring the lawn chair up, and cheer folks on. And I don't think people realize it, but even though you're in your zone, just having those people yell, scream, wave, it means a lot to folks. They
Yeah.
do see you even if they don't acknowledge
All right, this is a good
it.
pace, Chris.
Oh, got some noise coming up. I don't even know what's going on.
Good job, Joshua. Good job, Alan. There you go. That's a good pace, Chris. You can probably start going again. Good job. That's a good pace, Chris. You can probably go a little bit faster.
Josh is not taking any water. We've seen Alan take water at 2 stops. Now he is taking a significant.
I was going to say, this is the most significant lead he's had in the start or in this entire race.
And Rebecca, what's the temperature? We're in the 30s still?
Let me get the exact temperature for you. We're at 34 right now.
34 degrees. Folks got the kids up early, sitting on the lawn, cheering folks on. Now it is interesting that Alan keeps looking at his watch.
Interesting.
Pace, yeah. And I do think it's hard for folks to see, obviously on the phone and on the camera, the up and downs that we're going through right now that have separated up.
Oh, look at those kids. Oh.
Everyone up nice and early on this Sunday to cheer on our runners, hand cyclists, our walkers, whatever you can do to get through the 26 or the 13. Oops, dogs. For those of you just joining us, these are our half marathon male leaders. One, Josh is from Knoxville, Alan is from Las Vegas. They were neck and neck until we came into Sequoia Hills. Josh is waving. There's a man up on his patio.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
amazing.
that was amazing. You never know what they're going to see or hear. And Josh saw him up on the roof there.
I love that. Great pace, Chris. This is awesome.
Chris is driving us in our Harper's Pace van. You'll hear us talk to him throughout the day so that we stay far enough in front of the runners to show you, but then not get in their way. And there'll be times when they'll get a little bit closer and you'll hear us yelling at Chris. But morning. Just passing mile 6.
Do you know that pace by chance?
525.
Okay, that was a 5:25 pace.
What's your mile pace normally?
Honestly, it's like a 7:10.
Okay, I like it. I don't have a pace. I just want to finish. That's all that I need.
That's just super impressive though on these hills.
Yeah.
Probably a nice little break coming downhill now.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But all these folks getting up nice and early to play and to offer water. Thank you to all of our volunteers. Can't do it without everybody helping out. It really is a huge community that comes together.
They're both doing fantastic. Remember last fall when we got to the biggest hill and it started downpouring?
Yes. I do have to say, cold and sunny is much better than rainy. Although
10K is 33.50.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
although my hands may not agree holding this phone.
That's so impressive.
Sorry for the sniveling, folks. It is in the 30s.
Those must be the relay people on the side.
Yes. This sun is not going to help us out this morning, is it?
But that sun has some warmth. Oh, it feels so good.
Chris has a fan. Chris, somebody just said yay to you. Did you hear him?
Who's that?
I don't know the woman that's in the middle. She just said, hey, Chris.
Oh.
We didn't know we had a superstar driving us. It's famous. For those of you just joining us right now, we have the 2 leaders of the men's half marathon. We are in Sequoia Hills. Back up.
There's some nice cheers. Looks like they knew his name. Looks like they knew Josh's name.
Yeah. Josh is keeping the lead through most of Sequoia Hills. The leisurely morning jogger. Our old boss.
He looks great. He's a big runner too.
Yeah.
Jeff, our former general manager.
Once you're on TV, you always like to see the
I
big
know.
events. You can't help yourself.
The man who hired me. Good job, Josh.
Got some cheering over here.
Oh, so encouraging. Aaron, what would you say about the cheer of base that we've had this year compared to other years?
I mean,
So
I
far.
think we have a lot of people out here, just even sitting on their lawns.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
So this is where a lot of our relay folks, you see the green flag, they will change. So those folks are waiting for the 4-person relay. You got a 2-person this year, or is it just 4?
I think there is. You can do a 2-person if you want. There's that option.
I'd probably do a 4-person.
Yeah, I've done the 4-person. I did the third leg.
It's a lot of pressure though. Melissa's sister, Melissa's from Ohio, and her sister Stacy is running. Nice. Glad to hear it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we have a lot of pockets. A lot of small pockets sort of coming through.
All right, maybe pick it up just a little bit. Mile 7, pick it up just a little bit if we can. 5:27, perfect. So holding on to a really good steady pace.
So one thing that we normally have is Corey is our ride escort, and he's not with us this year. But he's watching for a few minutes, at least on the Facebook. Hey Corey, we miss you. Maybe we'll see you at the AMBC water stop. We got a lot of cheering going on over here. Ooh, it's a big water stop. There's water, Gatorade, and Josh won't have any of it. That's interesting.
Interesting to see Alan just looked back there. Joshua is still holding strong.
Is Alan eating something?
Oh, you know, he might be having a goo.
Okay.
Try and get a little extra energy in his system.
Because what we're about to do now is come around, and we're about to go up Knowlton.
Oh, Knowlton.
Which, if you watch the Boston Marathon, that Heartbreak Hill, this is our Heartbreak Hill. And just when you think you're up Knowlton, you're not.
Knowlton is my favorite place where we can watch fans, though. Like, you know, in the fall, we had runners that would just run up with these people trying to cheer them on. We had people that would cheer them on. I know in the past there's been people at the top of the race where they have offered whiskey, just, you know, as a way to celebrate making it up this hill. But this was also in the fall race. If you're listening on our live stream over on our WBIR page as well, this is also the place last year in the fall where, as we have talked about, it got really warm and it started to get kind of steamy when the rain was coming down. So a much different race we have this spring in comparison to what we had just a few months ago. I will say a few months ago, though, my toes were not as frozen as they are right now.
Josh is just looking around. Seeing
Yeah,
what's
he
going on.
really seems like he's enjoying it. Chris, what's your thoughts so far? Being the good runner that you are.
Josh looks pretty good right now. Pretty relaxed.
Nothing like a good hound dog to cheer you on.
Josh is probably thinking more about his, looking for a story, he's probably thinking more about his athletes that he's coaching.
Oh, really? And what does he coach again, you said?
He coaches for Knoxville Endurance,
Okay.
and so they got probably 100 runners out here this weekend.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Now I'm noticing that Alan has moved up a little bit. It's not as
He's
much.
creeping in.
Yeah, he is. All right, folks, we're gonna start the Knowlton Hill.
Ha
Somebody up on their patio with a drum.
I love that.
What? Did Josh just woo?
I thought so. It sounded like it.
All right.
Look at him. He's ready. He's ready. This band is amazing.
Wow. Well, if your neighborhood wasn't awake before, they're
I
awake
know.
now.
That was amazing.
Now notice he's changed his stride.
Yeah. Pumping his arms a little bit more.
All right, hill
There's the
helpers.
hill helpers.
All
I
right.
love
I
them.
like it.
Now he's going to start running with him. I bet that's what they do. They always like to cheer him on a little bit.
Just gonna have a little conversation.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Joshua's like actually talking to him.
He's like, oh hey.
Yeah. So incredible.
How many times do you think this helper will run up and down this hill today?
I don't know. Probably as much as getting in a nice, decent race. I wonder if that hill helper is like, ooh, this is a pretty good pace.
Well, I hope we turned a Strava on or it didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. What do you use for running as an app? Do you use Strava?
No, so I have an Apple Watch. I used to use a Garmin. I really
Okay.
liked my Garmin a lot more, but I think Apple is a little bit more sufficient to life. There's my little take on running watches, everybody.
Well, you know, everyone's different. I know.
Here it comes, here it comes. You notice his arms aren't quite as, his stride's not the same.
Sometimes it's like we're in a parade because people are waving at us. Uh-oh. Little cow Anybody right? Mark Hines. All right, get ready, here we go. All right, we're turning on to Kingston.
And they did it.
Water stop.
Josh is still saying no to water.
We got another move from Josh. I love this.
I know, it just seems like though he is just like so in this race. He is so present. And I really think he dominates on hills. He also took another great lead on Knowlton.
Okay, so now what's going to happen for those of you sticking with
How was
us,
that mile? Did you get that mile time?
These folks are going to go on the greenway. We cannot go on the greenway in our pace car.
Okay, great.
So we will leave them. We will flag them off to go on the greenway. And then we will meet up with them again in Tyson Park. You got a biker coming up on your left. So we'll stop the feed while we drive down Sutherland. We still have the same two in the lead, Joshua and Allen. Josh is from Knoxville, Allen is from Las Vegas. But we are still in the 30s for temperatures. I think this might be one of. This is Coach. All right, we're turning. We also have about 70 course marshals from the Tennessee School of Beauty. Making sure that these folks know where they're going, along with KPD and the fire department. And then we're going to make a turn
look at
towards.
those kids. There they go. There they go. Good job. Ooh. Allen's gaining up a little bit. Allen's pretty good on the straightaways. He's good on flat land. I really thought there for a second that Joshua was going to take it away, but it looks like Allen's starting to catch up.
Yeah, looks like Allen's right on his tail.
Pull up here and stop for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a course marshal there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they know to turn. Good job, guys. Good job.
Allen is taking the lead.
What do you want to do? Do you want to stay here and see the marathon leader, or should we go ahead and go?
We should go.
We got to go.
All right, folks, we'll be back.
Hands and legs inside the vehicle.
I know, hands and legs inside the vehicle. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is because we don't know how far back that person is.
be my relay. That's good.
Here they come.
All right, here we go.
Alan's in the lead. Wow, Alan's big time in the lead.
All right, we are catching back up with our runners in Tyson Park. We see that Alan is now in the lead, and we're not seeing. Yeah, he'll just go right in front of you.
Wow.
All right, so we now have Alan from Las Vegas in the lead. We've lost Joshua.
Good job, Alan.
I was probably like, who are these strange people yelling at me?
All right, pick it up just a little bit because Alan's almost. I know it's hard.
Edie's the first female still. Beth Herndon is second. Both Olympic cross qualifiers in half.
So Gina Sprouse is our half marathon female leader. We have not seen her, but we are getting word that she is our leader. I remember her. She's won this marathon. Or trials. Take a quick turn here. All right, we are out of Tyson Park, and now we go into what I call a hospital zone. Lots of turns. We still do not have eyes on Joshua.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Top is really tight. Maybe a bumpy turn.
Okay, heads up. Thank you.
Knoxville Police Department making sure everybody's safe. Helping us.
So that is Alan Carreno.
Now
C-A-R-R-E-N.
looking back to see if he can see Josh. It's always interesting when we're in this pace car because there's just times when runners are just all by themselves.
Uh-huh.
So he's looking at his watch, making sure he's doing his time. You can start to see here up and down hill again as we come through the hospital zone. And we're still in the 30s, so it has not warmed up.
And wind chill factors are almost in the 20s.
Ooh. Wind chill factors are almost in the 20s.
Brian Holt, who's done this with us, says, I'll never forget the van doors, knocking over all the cones. Say hi to Jerry and Aaron for me.
So we are in the Harper's Pace car. We're very lucky, and they have ratcheted these doors for us. 1 year, we had 2 years. We had a little bit of trouble with the door shutting, but it's great. The doors are wide open.
I'm going to go around bicycles right now.
Alan's coming downhill towards us.
Okay. Because of a cyclist?
Just very crowded.
Okay. Do you want to wave him by? Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Pick it up,
All right, pick it up.
if you
Pick it
can,
up.
Pick it up.
I can't. We got hand cyclists up here. Pull off here. We're running too much traffic.
Okay. Do you want to yell at him to go around us? Do you want him to go around us?
Yes.
Okay.
Go around us.
Alan, go around us.
All right, we have to let Alan go. We have hand cyclists. So we'll see if we can sort of pick him up in a second. But obviously, we want everyone to be safe. We don't want to ruin his time, so we have. Alan is now ahead of us as well. And the hand cyclist, so with some of these smaller streets, we have to be super careful. As you can see, there's people parked. So there's no way to get around some of the hand cyclists. There's some folks out here cheering. That's fine. Is Alan able to get through everybody up there?
Yeah, he's got fast, so I'm gonna see if I can go around here. Maybe.
You can see behind him, way back there is.
Like this is stuck. All right.
You do whatever you can to be safe. Okay, I see. Is that Joshua back there?
Yep.
Okay. She's having a little bit of trouble, so we have other cyclists that are going to help her, and now she's on her way again. Another hand cyclist. Whoa.
And way back there is Joshua too, in number 2.
Just
Mile
hit
12.
So for those of you just joining us, you may not have seen that we had to wave our lead runner past us because there were hand cyclists. So we may catch up with him, we may not. It is Alan from Las Vegas.
I think we'll catch him at this turn.
Our driver says he thinks we'll catch him at this next turn. But we did get a
Hurry
close-up
now.
of him when he almost came and visited us in the van. So that was So right now, Las Vegas, our runner from Las Vegas is in the lead for the half marathon. We have some hand cyclists behind us. Right now, we're just trying to get through.
I mean, at this point, you can almost say that Alan's probably going to be the.
Unless Joshua comes out of nowhere.
Unless Joshua really comes out of nowhere.
And so,
All right, everybody, hold on.
he waved us on. And then what we will do is we will sit and wait for the lead marathon runner, and then we will go with them through the rest of the marathon. It's pretty quiet in these neighborhoods, huh?
Trying to pass Alan, but
All right,
he doesn't want to let me pass.
so we have the.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Michael.
There we go.
All right, we have Alan again, folks. Woo.
Good job, Alan. Almost there.
Alan waving, little smile.
Look at that. I always get so pumped up towards the ends of races.
Oh, I thought you were gonna start crying. I got a little bit. All right. What time is it?
Right now it is 8:39,
8:39. All right.
almost just an hour after sunrise.
Still in the 30s. It's still very cold. These two are neck and neck for almost the whole time until they went on the greenway, and that's when Alan took the lead. Now it's interesting, Alan has not shed any of his layers. He's still just wearing everything that he came with. And are we still at the 5 pace?
I don't know if we've had a recent pace reading.
Sorry. Very tight.
That's okay. People just realizing that there was somebody running. We can speed up just a tiny bit, Chris. So for those of you who haven't been with us, Chris is our driver.
This is a split.
Okay, this is the split.
Good job, Alan. Good job, Alan.
All right, he is off to win the marathon.
Good job, Chris. That was awesome.
Here come some of our hand cyclists.
Good job.
Are we in anyone's way?
Just the pace car.
Good job.
Oh, wait, get away on the marathon bicyclists.
All right, so now we are stopped. We are at the half marathon point where the half marathoners will go down the hill and then the marathoners will follow us. We're still waiting for Joshua, who will be the second in the half marathon. He was neck and neck with Alan. We have more hand cyclists coming through. Can they get around us if they're doing the whole marathon?
I was going to say, let me pull forward just a little bit.
Okay. Just gonna make sure that we're out of everyone's way. Alright, here comes Joshua. Now this is really interesting because we don't normally have this big of a gap between our half marathon and our marathon runners. Becca, do you think that maybe that's because of the cold, or do you think that those two are just going faster than your normal?
They had a really good pace. I mean, I would say it's probably, yeah, due to some of the colder weather and stuff, probably due to the great competition that we have today. I'm sure it won't be too far along before these marathon runners come up.
So Gina Sprouse is our half marathon female lead, or she was at last check. Do you know who is? Have we heard about our male marathon leads?
Ethan Coffey and Austin Whitelaw were in the lead earlier.
Okay,
Okay.
Ethan Coffey, who won the marathon last year. Some more hand cyclists.
Joshua already came by, right?
Yes, he just did. So now we have a full hand cyclist marathoner passing us. So we will see her a whole bunch of other times. You got this! Alright, here comes our third person in the half marathon.
What's the number?
2310.
I don't have
Alright, are you ready? I can't see what color we got here.
Those are black.
Is that Ethan?
Yeah,
It's
off.
one. Alright, get ready.
Okay, keep going.
Here we go.
Go, go, go.
Alright. We now have our male marathoners. Number 1 and number 3.
All right.
Won this last year. Number 1 in the yellow. Watch out, policeman coming through. Can you see him?
Okay, so number 3 is Austin Whitelaw, and he's from Knoxville as well. Number 1 is Ethan Coffey, again from Knoxville.
Alright, while we try to get everybody sort of back where they belong. This is where we saw Ethan's. And last year we had such a support for Ethan. It was pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, Ethan kind of ran the entire second half of the race by himself.
Yes. We've been very well known in our running community. All right, we are at mile 13.
About halfway.
1:40. We'll get the half split.
All right.
Okay.
We're both gonna take water here. Excuse me. Passing our hand cyclists. They're choosing how they're gonna go around her.
1:15:09 for the half.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, that puppy dog's not happy about it. So they are sticking pretty close to each other.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I'm always amazed when you watch some of these elite runners, how they don't even look like they are sweating.
I know.
They're just running a little race.
What I'm curious is if these two, I mean, I'm sure they're both part of the running community, how well these two know each other outside of racing, you know?
Yeah.
Because last year, you know, Ethan had such a great support system where he had people that were running in the relay that were kind of cheering him on, supporting him. So I'm curious if these two are also kind of benefiting from one another, from having that person to set up your pace.
So we are on Summit Hill right now. Just came up and now we're gonna go back down. And as we sit here in our down jackets, and watch them running, I'm just amazed that. Ooh,
You know, and this will be the end for, this will be also where they come back for the end of the race.
yes.
Beautiful downtown Knoxville.
So it's pretty quiet for them right now. No bands, no cheering. People not even aware that there's a marathon going on.
So a little interview. So Shannon interviewed Alan, who won the half marathon, and he said that he is trying to do a half marathon in every state. And Tennessee is state number 18. And he
wow.
said his favorite part of the course was running through the houses, and then also he really loves the bluegrass music and was excited to see a bluegrass man standing by the stadium. This is his first time he's won a half marathon.
Oh, that's awesome. Huge thank you to the Knoxville Police Department for being out here today. Pretty much at almost every corner.
Looks like maybe Austin's getting a goo or something. Trying to need a little sustenance. Chris, did you run a full marathon? Nope. I've heard that it's like a different race. It's a 20-mile race and then a 10K. Or how people split it up is always different. 5:40 pace? Perfect, thank you.
I don't know if you heard that. They're running a 5:40 pace right now. And we've said it throughout the broadcast, up and down these hills. You don't realize it normally when we're driving, but when you're running, you can feel it. There we go, a little bit of cheering, nice.
And we just had the female finisher of the half marathon.
Was it Gina?
I'm sure it was, we don't have a confirmation, but I'm almost sure. One zero zero two. Yeah, that's Gina, isn't it? 1002. Yep, Gina Rouse won the female.
All right, so Gina Rouse has won the half marathon for the female. Is Amanda running this year? Do we know? Our winner last year?
That's a great question. Oh,
All right, Austin is taking the lead a little bit.
and Gina has won the full marathon before, right? Or she won the half before.
She's won the full marathon before. All right, we are now coming into the Fort Hill neighborhood. Yeah, Jason, it's the photographer. His phone is blowing up. He's pretty popular. I don't know why he didn't turn it off.
Good job, Austin. So the second place female half marathon is a scientist from Oak Ridge.
Beth earned it.
Beth?
It's Olympic cross qualifier.
Okay.
We lost the Porsche, so
Okay. Where'd they go?
he turned it to half.
Oh, interesting.
Now we are down the pace car.
We were telling everyone that anyway, so. Got some fruit being offered here, some water. Austin taking the, whoops, not taking the water. It's in a weird cup. Might be the problem.
All right, goodness.
Mile marker over here.
What?
Mile marker over here.
I believe we're almost at 15. Good pace, Chris.
We're gonna turn around at mile 15.
Okay. And Austin is 28 years old.
Terry, the half marathon runners, 3 of them finished, and then we had to keep going with the marathoners. So we are at mile
Okay.
15 right
Yep,
now.
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
5:32.
5:32 pace. Okay.
Current temperature in Knoxville. We're still at 36.
Nope. Current temperature, we are at 35.
35 is our current temperature in Knoxville. Oh God,
What?
that car. Ethan flagging, not Ethan. Austin flagging back the car that did not realize that we have a marathon coming through the neighborhood.
So it's 35 and it feels like 32 right now.
Did you hear that? 35 and it feels like 32.
And we still don't have much of a breeze, but it's around 5 to 8 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Austin's taking a really good lead.
Chris is doing really well because there's lots of cars parked on the road. He has taken a substantial lead in the past few minutes.
Okay, so we're about to start our 9 o'clock show.
Okay. For those of you just joining us, Channel 10 is in the car with us, Rebecca Sweet. So you will hear her talking as well and doing live hits. Emily thinks this is perfect marathon weather. These are your 2 male leaders of the Knoxville Marathon. Someone's purse is hanging on the wall.
Okay. All right, they're about to take the pace car shot. Perfect. Just giving you a heads up, Jerry. Good job, Chris. Nice pace.
For those of you just joining us, you will hear us every once in a while talking to Chris. He's our driver. Both are helping from us.
Lots of nice turns.
Jump around the corner.
And Rebecca, one of the nice things that we're seeing today is that we have 2 Knoxvillians
That are leading this
for the
race.
Knoxville Marathon. Ethan won last year. He is in 2nd place right now. And it'll be interesting when we get to South Knoxville where it's a lot flatter to see those straightaways come through. Still see Ethan in the distance. bicyclists with the hand cyclists as well as our runners. Mile 16.
Do you have a pace for that?
Sorry. Yeah, 5:31.
All right, thank you so much, Shannon. Well, we just passed mile 16, where right now we have Austin Whitelaw, who is leading this race. He is 28 years old. He is from Knoxville. And he was kind of neck and neck with Ethan Coffey, who was the winner of the last Knoxville Marathon that we had. Both of these runners, up until recently, have really been kind of running neck and neck, and now it looks like Austin has taken a pretty significant lead. Ethan is now following behind him in the number 2 spot. You can see him hopefully from this point of view, just about to turn the corner. So they are still within viewing distance from one another, which there's a lot of fire and a lot of spirit that can come from seeing that runner ahead of you. And so hopefully if Ethan can stay within viewing distance of Austin, he still has that opportunity to make this a pretty good race. But so far, Austin has just been dominating this race from this point of view, at times even interacting with some of the people who have been handing off water, maybe kind of leading him into the right direction that he's been going. I want to point out where we're at on this race right now. We're in the second half of the race. We just passed mile marker 16, where these runners are going about a 5:32 pace, so very, very fast. But really, we've kind of seen a terrain on this race, as many of you know, here in Knoxville. It's a challenging course. It's not necessarily the flattest of courses. There's all of these little steady slopes up and steady slopes down. You really don't have one part in this race where you get a good break. And so it really challenges your endurance. Both of these runners, number 1 and number 2, again, Austin Whitelaw is in the front, and behind him we have Ethan Coffey. Both of these runners are from Knoxville, which is so awesome to have Knoxville people coming out here and really just showing off and impressing all of us with their skills that they have here with the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. It's chilly outside this morning, Cassie. The sun is shining, which I'm sure a lot of these runners are really appreciating. But boy, temperatures in the 30s. It is definitely cold. We'll send things over to you with another look at our forecast. Okay, thank you.
Asking for Gatorade specifically now. just
Okay.
these two.
Okay. I hear you, Daniel. I can talk. No, I'm telling you I can talk.
The biking volunteers helping out with Gatorade.
Hello?
We have a car behind us.
Yeah. 5:35.
Okay. Thank you.
She's turning.
So are we.
Okay.
Oh, no, I could hear you. And I was talking to you. I just didn't know if you could. Okay.
Bringing out the pots and pans to make a little bit of noise. Let's see, Ethan's just turning the corner.
Oh.
Puppy dog.
Feel that sun.
Oh goodness, that does feel good. Although it doesn't make it great for trying to show runners. Because we're backlit so much. Oh, there goes our warm sun. We're in the Park Ridge community.
Daniel, can you hear me? Hello? Mixed up for me during the break, so just yell at me if you need. Oh. I can hear you. I was yelling at you last time too. I didn't know if you could hear me, but I'm good. You just yell at me whenever you need me. Yeah, whenever. Just yell at me. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Do we know who our female marathon leader is?
I've not heard.
Okay,
Okay, I'm going to ask.
I'm gonna ask that. Thank you.
Okay.
Does it look like Ethan's catching up a little bit to you?
Mm,
So count when he hits the next cone, so Ethan gets there. It'll be fun. 3.
oh, no. I'm good. Thank you.
About 13 seconds. Okay.
Okay, we're finding out. They're looking at the leader of the females.
Thank you. 2 thumbs up from Austin. We like it. A little faster, Austin, trying to get in the back of the van.
Okay, so the leader is bib 25. So it is Kimball Caroline from Nashville.
Kimball, Caroline Kimball.
Or Caroline
from Nashville.
Kimball.
Mile 18, we just passed. Caroline Kimball from Nashville is leading our women's marathon.
5:35.
Oh my gosh, Shannon, what an incredible race we have seen out here. So again, we've just passed mile 18. And these runners are running an incredible race. We're looking at around a 5:35 pace. And just by our estimation, Ethan Coffey, who is last year's marathon winner, is roughly 13 seconds behind our leader right now. His name is Austin Whitelaw. He's from Knoxville. And really, Austin, about 5 or 6 miles ago, right after the half, just started to dominate this race. And he has been looking strong, even at times giving fans thumbs up, kind of interacting with people. Recently just took some Gatorade, and so it does look like he's actually doing really well. But if you notice off in the distance in the yellow shirt, that is Ethan Coffey again, last year's marathon winner. And Ethan is still holding on really strong. These 2 runners ran together for almost the entire half marathon, and now we've been starting to see some separation in the second half of the race. If we do want to give you an update on the woman who is leading the full marathon, her name is Caroline Kimball. She is right now at the 4th and Guild neighborhood, and she is from the Nashville area. And so she is leading right now the women's full marathon. This is where we are at right now with the men's full marathon. The first runner that you have in the white, his name is Austin Whitelaw, and he is from the Knoxville area. It looks like he has a great fan base out here. A lot of people cheering for him, a lot of people cheering for his name, which is great to see. We're about to take a corner right now. We're on Willow Avenue. And then you can see right here, we have right behind him, Ethan Coffey. Both of these runners have just been doing a phenomenal job out here. The sun has some warmth, and so I'm sure that these runners, are starting to feel some of these, rays of sunshine helping them warm up just a little bit. Thankfully, we're not noticing too much of a breeze out here just yet, but it is certainly a race, folks, as we are getting now close to almost the 20-mile marker. We're still on mile 18, but we're getting close to near what is going to be kind of the final stretch for a lot of these runners in the 2022 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Cassie, when we're turning the corner and we get that sun on our face, it feels fantastic, but it is still chilly out here. We'll send things back to you.
All right, we are coming into the old city now.
Okay. Okay, perfect. That's great. We're still live streaming. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Ethan's picking up a little bit.
Yeah, it does. We're driving, but they're running through the historic old city in Knoxville, Tennessee. These are our male lead runners. Folks just walking down the street, cheering them on. Very busy weekend in Knoxville this weekend. We also have the Big Ears Music Festival going on. So there's a lot of folks that from out of town that aren't aware that there's a marathon. And then we have a lot of folks in town for the marathon. So it's a big weekend in Knoxville.
Ethan's only 7 seconds back.
Yeah, he's picking up.
Picking up his pace. Well, somebody's cooking a delicious breakfast. I can smell it.
Okay.
Now imagine if he turns around and sees Ethan that close, he's going to be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, there was a great separation there for a while. I'm telling you, it's all about what you can see. If you were behind that runner, as long as you can still see them, there is still a race. Once you start to lose that distance, once you start to lose sight of them, it's a little bit harder to catch up to them.
But I do wonder if he has seen how close Ethan actually is.
You know, and I'm not even sure if maybe Ethan's running a lot faster. It might be that Austin is kind of starting to slow down a little bit. And it is tough. I'm wondering if Ethan does end up passing him, which looks like could potentially happen here. If he does get past, what does that do to your, your mind?
It's mile 19. I can't see the sign. I believe it is.
Yep.
Well, and it's quiet enough out there where he'll be able to hear Ethan's feet or his breath. Because we could hear it a little bit before when we were driving in front of them. So. And this may also be what they both need, is to be near each other. Ethan is taking the lead.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
For a big hill. Rebecca, you're not cheering anybody on. It's weird.
I know. I love a good race. We had a good race for the half, and now we've had a good race for the full.
Yeah. He's taking a significant lead over.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Shannon, what an incredible race. Okay, so we just went through downtown Knoxville, and it was in the Old City that we noticed that Ethan Coffey, last year's winner, was slowly starting to catch up Austin Whitelaw, who had a significant lead. Honestly, at one point, I was like, I just don't really know how this is going to turn out, if we're going to be able to see Ethan catch up. But slowly but surely, Ethan started to catch up as soon as we got closer to the Old City area. And clearly, you can see now Ethan Coffey, again, the winner of the last Knoxville Marathon that we had, is now in the lead and actually really starting to take a good lead. The question is whether or not is Ethan kind of getting that second wave of energy, or is it that we're starting to see Austin maybe feel a little bit more of the mileage that we're at. So again, we just passed mile 19. You can hear some of that music that we have off in the distance. We are now passing the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. You can see we have Volunteer Landing. We're about to cross over the Tennessee River here in a little bit. There is Ethan just getting a drink of water, and I'm sure that we may see Austin right behind him get a drink of water. Again, we cannot thank the volunteers enough for making this whole event possible, but it does look like Ethan is really coming across strong. There's this little sense of energy that you get when you start to get somebody and you pass them in the race. But as long as you can see that person right behind you, as long as Austin can stay close enough to Ethan, this is still going to be a race as we head into really the last quarter of this race. Going now into around almost mile 20. But boy, Shannon, I am a huge fan of what is happening with today's 2022 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. It was a competition for the half, and now it's turning into a competition for the full. We'll send things back to you.
And he prefers the chilly weather. Anything above 40 he doesn't like.
So this is like his jam.
Yeah.
I do have to say, these volunteer bicyclists are doing a great job of making sure that they have water if they missed it at the stop. And he's also offered them energy. So.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, surprisingly, I have been. I have been. I don't know how that magically started working. Nope. You're doing amazing, Daniel. You're doing so, so good.
Looks like Ethan's getting a little bit of energy.
Oh, whatever.
At mile 20.
Oh, I got one and they were so good.
Yes, James, that is
5:41.
Ethan in the lead.
Okay, thank you.
He is last year's marathon winner, and he has taken the lead within the past 10 minutes.
And did we pass mile 20?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is always an interesting place for some of the racers that are further back, because they'll be able to see the other racers when they come over the James White Parkway Bridge. It's just natural. You see Ethan looking over. You don't see anything because I wasn't.
Can you grab, there's an extra battery in that gray bag, the big battery like
Yep.
this. Somehow I think I lost mine. The motor's on, but it doesn't seem like it's
They're about to take us soon.
People are screaming at him from their car.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow, he's taking a great lead.
He really has. And again, it's just these two. We have not seen number 3. We have not seen the women's leader.
So Ethan won how many times has he won the marathon? Okay.
And so last year, this is where we started seeing Ethan.
This was when he really started to cramp up. But also,
And he got a lot of help from
what we heard from a lot of people who know Ethan is that they say that he is not a fan of running in warmer temperatures. And remember last fall, it was actually really warm and kind of steamy as we started to see the race, go into the later half of the race. And there's people actually remember dropping ice on him. And so he was running with like ice bags on him just to stay cool. So a much different race setting in comparison to what we have today.
Definitely.
Everyone has their profile and their temperature preference, and like it really seems like he has just lucked out with today.
All right, we're coming over into South Knoxville now.
This should be another relay handoff coming up here in just a little bit around this corner.
We go a little bit wide.
So he'll get a nice little fan cheer base here.
Yes.
There we go. I think that's the guy who helped him
Yeah.
helped him in the last time when he finished up. So he's the fourth leg again. Good job, Ethan!
There she is.
I just get so pumped.
Brad Evans.
Yeah, because Brad was last time. I think he was the one who cheered Ethan on towards the end.
Whoa. Some good driving there. Kelly says that Ethan has won it twice in 2015 and then last year.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks, Kelly.
Icing.
See Austin off in the background. And this is mile marker 21.
Wow.
And Ethan is not slowing down.
Okay, so we still have Caroline Kimball. She is at Caswell Park, and she is still in first for a women's update.
Caroline Kimball and Steeler in the lead.
Let's go, buddy! Looking good, Ethan! Andy Baxter yelling at him.
What'd you say?
So it's Andy Baxter that was yelling at him. I think he won the half one.
Good job, Ethan! The end is near. I love it. Look at this great group.
It's the AMBCR Bike Club. Some of those folks are riding with them. Ethan's pouring water on his head. You noticed for the first time?
Yeah, he's doing great. Austin still isn't within viewing distance, but it does look like Ethan is just killing it. No males have ever won the full 3 times there. Okay, so we have confirmation of this, that if Ethan does win this, he would be the first male to win it 3 times.
Oh, wow.
So Gina Rouse has won it 4 times, but he would be the first man to hit 3.
No pressure.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, Jerry.
No, I'm zoomed in.
Okay.
What were you saying, Chris?
But I believe he's tied to Stuart Ellis.
Stuart Ellington. Okay, I'm going to put that down because this is for our whole news crew.
If I'm not mistaken.
And Stewart won the half last year, correct?
The man. Amanda won the overall.
We're rolling along the South Knoxville waterfront. And so this is the road, when we turn around, all the other runners, they will all start seeing each other. So we'll start seeing who some of the other runners are in the race besides just these two. And a big shout out to all the bands and the volunteer water folks. I don't think everyone realizes how much people appreciate it when they're running.
Yeah.
They're in their zone, but once they hear people cheering them on, they really do appreciate it. Although I'd really like a coffee stop.
Ooh, coffee.
Coffee would be
Nice
good.
hot coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just truly wish I would have put on thicker socks. I'm like, why was I not? I'm wearing double layers.
Down there, you know.
He's wearing, shorts and a tank top. We're all in down.
I know.
And we're complaining about the
But doesn't this inspire you to want to get home and run? Every time I leave this race, I'm like, I gotta go home and go for a run. I'm so inspired.
You can see the city right behind him.
Ethan looks great. He really looks so great right now. Relaxed, good pace.
I mean, he looks a lot better right now this year than he did last
Oh,
year.
100%.
Like he's rolling it through. Neighborhood. If you're just joining us, these pink stripes on the road are for our Dogwood Arts Festival. This is one of the neighborhoods where you can come see the dogwoods.
There we go. We like the clapping.
Yes.
I always feel like it's just so tough when you kind of like, you're in an area that is, and I've always said this about the Island Home area, which we can agree to disagree. I feel like this is kind of a quieter part of the race sometimes, but I know it's probably also a more challenging part of the race because these folks have ran, over 20 miles already.
Mm-hmm.
There's mile 22. Oh, and I love the amazing volunteers. 5:42 pace. He is holding strong.
And then we just went by mile 22.
5:42 pace. He's doing great. Really good distance now.
Where's Austin?
Yeah, where is Austin? There he is.
Has he made the turn onto the boulevard? No. Okay, there's Austin.
And so Caroline Kimball, this is from Jason Altman, he was saying that she also won the Tom King half marathon last month. So she won a half marathon last month. And she ran a 2:57 marathon in Houston in January. So she's had a very successful start to 2022.
here in the Island Home neighborhood. We've just gone past mile 22. Ethan Coffey is our marathon leader. He is also last year's marathon winner. Oh, small children running across the street.
Go!
Future marathoner.
I know.
Island Home has an airport. That's where you can hear some of these planes flying around us on this beautiful, chilly day.
So did they do a turnaround here? Is that what we're doing?
So they run down.
Yeah.
We'll lose sight of them because he will go left here in a second. Little water stop action. He did not take any water.
Turn right, pull a U-turn, so.
No, you just wait. You just take a left and wait. Or, yeah, left.
Does he know that? Okay. Does Ethan know that?
Court marshal tells him where to go.
Good job, Ethan!
All right, officers down there. We've got a course marshal and a police officer. And you'll see Ethan's gonna run down there, make a U-turn, and come back with us.
And they'll actually get to pass each other.
Yes. Can't see. Here comes Austin. Does anyone have eyes on Ethan? 'Cause-
Yep, he's right there.
Okay, there it is. All
Good
right,
job, Austin!
so we're gonna pass each other.
They're giving each other a little thumbs up. So great.
And I think that's one of the cool things about this is even though it is competitive, there's such a
And so we're currently sitting, I'd say probably in the upper 30s. Let me get a confirmation. 549 was his last mile. So we're sitting at 40 degrees right now. Feels like 37.
Okay, so we're at 40 and it feels like 37.
Was that mile 23? Okay.
Slow it down a scotch, Chris. Thank you.
Good job, Ethan. Look at him cheering on another runner.
Was he at 5:45 his last pace?
5:47.
5:47. So Emily's saying that
Yeah.
do you think every band had a running theme?
I don't know. I love that.
So Emily's saying if he goes 5:45, that would be a 2:30 marathon, and that's substantially faster than his last
He's
year when he did 2:47.
100% he's going to be running a faster marathon. That's exactly where my mindset was at too. Because last year, I mean, you have to think towards the end of the race, his miles were becoming progressively slower. But like we all said, he, you know, cramping, the heat, everything was just kind of underlying with this. I mean, I think this is like just the perfect race day for Ethan and what he loves.
And we have not seen Austin since the turn.
Yeah. Good job, Ethan.
And so we did just see one other runner. I don't get. Chris, do we see any other runners coming towards us?
No.
So substantially out in front of these three men.
And you know, he's about to make that final turn going back into downtown Knoxville here after he leaves the Island Home neighborhood. And then from that point on, it's kind of game over, folks. He's doing awesome.
Maybe he could stop and get us some coffee real quick.
Yeah, Ethan, I'll take a caramel macchiato.
And how nice for him not to be looking over his shoulder at Austin. I have to say that sun does feel good.
Oh, it feels phenomenal. I was just relishing
We're in
that
the
same
shade.
thought.
We've literally been in the shade the whole time, so now. But I do wonder if that's going to bother him a little bit towards the end here.
Hopefully with, you know, literally he has a very short amount of this race left. He can just kind of continue to keep this momentum going.
Get that adrenaline going.
Yeah, and once we get into like the downtown area, you're kind of packed with people that are cheering you on. I'd say this is a good pace. Probably keep this pace going.
Coming back to that big water stop.
Past all those next to a brewery.
Yeah.
there's
we go.
the
There's Brad.
relay. There's Brad. Good job, Ethan.
Can you slow it down at Scotch, Chris? Alright. And this is always fun too to see these other runners cheer on
Yeah.
whoever's winning this marathon. So if you look up top, you can see the marathon runners going across.
How cool. I think Erin has her own fan base.
These are all of our mountain biking friends.
He's doing awesome. Look at that guy holding a beer, running with him. Here, hold my beer.
I think he won a half marathon once.
Oh, that guy did? Oh. How cool. I mean, to say that you've won even the Knoxville Marathon once, but now potentially Ethan saying that he's won it 3 times, like that is just so cool.
I don't even think I could win the kids run.
I know.
Tennessee coaches woman right here is on the right.
Oh, perfect.
A lot of cheering, a little hill.
Awesome.
You got a car here if you want to let them pass you. They're passing you.
Now it's starting to get busy. $5.57. So he's slowing down just a little bit, but still an incredible pace. That's me, Jerry. Golly bum, if I could run this fast, oof, I'd feel so cool.
You wouldn't be in the van with us.
I know.
You'd be out there. Jerry'd have to run with you live.
Run next to the pace car.
So that, just so that you guys can see, we have Jerry's in the back camera as well from Channel 10. And Becca.
Wonder if that guy finished running and now he just put on his flannel. Good job, Ethan! He only has about 2 miles left, if that.
So now he's going to run down Gay Street, run through Market Square. We will not follow him through Market Square.
Although we've done that in the past.
And so we will leave Ethan there, and then he will come out the other side, and we will follow him. And then we will not be able to follow him through the finish line because cars are not allowed to drive over the electronics, which does all the pacing. So we have somebody down at the finish line who will hopefully take over our live feed. We'll give them fair warning. And so you'll be able to, hopefully be able to see Ethan finish.
Yeah, Ethan's just dominating it.
Yeah, we don't even see Austin
Yeah.
now, so this is very comfortable for him. And even though it's warming up a little bit, it's still not.
We're still only at 40 degrees.
So you're still within his temperature light for running.
Perfect.
Then we have this hill, then we'll go over a bridge, then we'll come up Gay Street, which is a tiny hill, and then through Market Square, where hopefully he'll get a little bit more energy from those folks, because the electricity that will start to happen as we get into the city a little bit more. People waking up, people out having brunch. Looking at his watch, making sure that he's doing the
Good job, Ethan!
random person topping.
Oh, he's almost at the last mile.
Good job, guys.
Dude, thank you.
All right, that's a good pace.
We are heading over the Gay Street Bridge.
You can probably go a little bit slower, Chris. Uh-oh.
Oh God. Oh God. Come on, Ethan, you got this.
Come on, Ethan, you got it!
You're gonna need to give us a snack. Doing great.
Yeah. Ugh. He's so close.
He's got to be digging in really, really hard right now. Inside.
Come on, Ethan, you got it. Mile 25.
About to pass mile 25.
6:30 pace. Yeah.
Austin on the bridge.
No.
Austin's on the
Nope,
bridge.
He just got on the bridge. Okay.
He's just got to push it together for one more mile.
Yeah. Gotta dig. Come on, Ethan, you got this. You've done this before. Let's go.
I know. Come on. Austin's great too. He's doing fantastic, but it'd be really cool to win it 3 times.
Yes. Well, he's got a good lead now. Even
Yeah.
though he's slowing down a little bit. He just needs to get him through Market Square, and then I think that some of this electricity
From the people and the,
will help a little
yeah.
bit.
you know, and from here on out, really truly, there aren't any huge major hills. You still have those steady slopes. You gotta love East Tennessee.
Right.
As I say that, we walk up or you climb up a little bit of a steady hill. Good job, Ethan. You got it.
It's always awkward that we're like also a cheerleading
I
band
know.
as well as a pace band. But it's one of those things where even though Ethan has no idea who we are, but you know, we spend a lot of time with them. You know?
We feel like we're on this journey with him.
Yeah. And you
I
wanna
interviewed
see
him, or I talked to him after the race last year, and I like truly felt like I was like, "Did you know I was the one that was yelling your name?" I kind of felt like I was running it with you. I love this view. This is always one of my favorite shots with the Tennessee sign. Oh, he looks like he's got to feel it.
Come on, Ethan, let's cheer him on. Let him hear ya. Woo! Across the street.
Or across the street. Someone toss us a coffee.
I know, right? I'd like to put in the to-go order. You're doing great. You're almost.
Let's go, runners. Let's go, man. You guys are finishing strong, baby, and we love to see it. That's right, man. That's right. Looking good. That's it. That's the finish line, baby. The post-race party is here. Let's go.
Do we stop here and then he keeps going?
Yeah, he goes that way.
Good job, Ethan! Good
We
job!
got this. Ethan's gonna go through Market Square. We're gonna drive around. He's getting some water.
Incredible job, everyone. Let's see that finish, guys. Let's see that finish. picture on your wall, man. You're gonna tell stories about today. You just finished the 2022 Knoxville Marathon. That's right, man. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Feels good, don't it? It feels good. I want to feel it too, man. Let me see how good it feels. Show us that finish. Show us that finish. Finish strong, baby. Finish strong. Finish safe. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Here they come. Here they come.
He's gonna beat us twice.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Look at this whole pack of them we got. Let's finish, baby. Let's finish. You guys made it to the finish line. It's time for the post-race party. It's time for the post-race party. Come and enjoy it. Let's go, runners, let's go. Keep it moving, baby. The finish line's right here. We want to see you guys crossing. Let's go, man. Let's go. You spectators out here standing around, guys. You warm up like me if you start to get loud. Let's hear it for these runners as they're coming across the finish line, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That's what it's about right there. Finish together, baby. Hands up and let's go. Yes, yes. Keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. You guys got good time. You got good time. You just finished. Yes. We're gonna be singing it together, baby. We're singing that finish line. Come on, let's go. You just finished, baby. You just finished. We made it. That's right. That's right. Let's go, guys. Let's go, girls. Let's make it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. That was awesome. You're awesome.
That's it, man. That's it. You made it. That's the finish line right there, man. You can see it. You can see it. You can almost feel it. It's there. You finished, man. The 2022 Knoxville Marathon, and you did it. it, man. That's it. You found the finish line, baby. We made it. Let's hear for our runners out here in the 2022 Knoxville Marathon. Y'all are looking strong, baby. Looking strong. Good finish, man. Good finish. Here they come, baby. Here they come. They're finishing for you right now. Let's go, Knoxville. Let's go. Finish strong, y'all. Finish strong. You're looking good. You made it. We're at the finish line. Way to go, y'all. Way to go. Let's go, runners, let's go! The 2022 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, and you're at the finish line, baby, let's go! That's it. That's what a strong finish looks like right there. That's how good it feels to complete the 2022 Knoxville Marathon. Get it, get it, get it, yes, yes! Let's keep going, baby, let's keep going! That's the move, man. That's the move. Let's finish strong today. Let's go. Some of y'all standing around out here, y'all gotta start getting loud too. You finish the race, that's fine. You take your break. But if y'all are spectators, let's get noisy, man. Let's show them a good time. Don't just fight for your kids, fight for everybody's kids. Let's go, runners. You made it. We're right here at the finish line, baby. We're right there with you. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. We love to see it. Finish strong, runners. Finish strong. Way